What's up, everyone? Welcome to my chess stream here on lichess and Twitch. I thought we had a cheer there from someone. I don't know why my screen was showing a cheer, but I don't see one in the Twitch chat. Somebody send a cheer. Oh, Acerbate sent a cheer one. Thank you. All right, so I was not crazy. Sorry, guys, a little bit late today. I had an important meeting, and we are ready to go. So our midday stream starting just a little bit late. Acerbate in first place for the week. Somebody turned the heat down in my house without telling me. I'm a little bit cold here. Got the hot coffee, kind of warm us up, play some fast games, get the blood flowing. Welcome to my stream. Congratulations, Acerbate. Congratulations, Acerbate, on being the bit leader for the week. In first place, JCS, thanks for being here. Let me make sure the stream looks okay. Is my screen alright? It doesn't seem a little bit off. No, it looks cool. Alright, so we're good. We're streaming as Sladgie on Twitch. Our account on lichess is Sparkle Horse. I typically play between 5+3 and 7+3. Anything between 3 and 5 second increments. 5 to 7 minutes with a maximum of 7+3. Got a challenge already from our subscriber, Mr. Pavel Nefedov. So Nefedov, we have an interesting ongoing Pirtz defense. All right, 7+3. If you guys see this, you can challenge. Our most common time controls are 7+3 and 5+3. You can also do like 5+5, 5+4, whatever in between time control you prefer. The 5+3 are a little bit quicker if you want to play a little bit of a faster game. Welcome, everybody, and we're going to get started here. Who is that there? Sladgie, that's me. Couldn't see my own name. So Alex CL, welcome to the stream. I'm going to get started here with Nefedov. We had that terrible Spanish. I have so much trouble against him in that. Let's try something different. Nefedov knows his stuff. He's very systematic. He knows what he plays, and he plays what he knows. And that's it. He doesn't experiment in the opening too much. One occasional h4 for the pandas. Where's our pandas for today? I don't know if maybe in the summer we'll see. Actually, maybe in the late winter we'll see panda again. If I can get back to Budapest by February. Hey guys, I really want to go to Budapest, but I don't think he's gonna take me. Hey, get your hand off me. All right. No, I'm not comfortable with that. So, anyway, the small pandas here. Panda. Hello. So, guys, welcome. Let's get started. Thanks, Alex, for the salute. Thanks, everyone, for watching and subscribing. And make sure my stream is aptly titled before I play another move. I'm just sacrificing all my time here. We have lichess. Will Wolf's like kill the panda. My opinion on Alekhine's defense. I think it's a subtle opening. It's very difficult to play. Extremely hyper modern, and I wouldn't recommend it to players, until they. I would say don't play the Alekhine's defense or Alyokhin. Try to say it correctly. I would not recommend playing it under like 2000. I think, or at least 1800. I don't think that players who are starting out should play the Alyokhin's defense. Never. It's not Weird Wednesday, Will Wolf. But that is an interesting idea. We should throw out some Danish gambits in the Weird Wednesday stream. If you guys want to tune in on Wednesday, I do experiment with like slightly unusual lines that I typically wouldn't play. Now, I just remember having some small success against Nefedov when I tried Bishop c4 earlier. I don't really play the Gioco Piano with white or Gioco Pianissimo, as is the case here, but I do experiment a little bit. So, Nefedov with a traditional sort of move d6, that looks fine. I'm just trying to play solidly. Nefedov is a good player, but he seems especially good at the black side of the Schliemann, 3f5 and the row de Pez. So we are trying to avoid his greatest opening strength by playing bishop c4 instead of our usual bishop b5. Castles. And now knight on b to d2. Knight f to d2, not really recommended. This is probably my main line. Gioco pianissimo, which I don't have a lot of practice with. What happened to Soltigo? Soltigo was here yesterday. He is around. He's recovering from a foot ailment. He's designed a new screen layout for me, but there was a spelling issue. We had to correct it, so it's not ready for release yet. Okay, I think eventually we're going to play knight f1. But again, I'm no authority in this stuff. This might be an inaccuracy. I don't know. No, it should be fine. It's not the only way to play. This is like old school Steinitzian approach for white. There's all different ways for white to play the Gioco piano. I mean, like h3, played by Hari Krishna very early. b4, a4. You see a lot of players play on the queen side. The little quiet game. Gioco pianissimo. So again, bishop g4. I don't quite follow this move. I have to say I don't understand it. Feels like you're just giving me a useful move for free. I mean, some people might consider h3 to be a weakening move, but I think it's more constructive than it is weakening. So it took Discord that long to alert you. Against you, I've played my first time against Alekhine's defense. Okay, Alyokhin. And it took me a while to figure out what's going on over the board. Yeah, that's why I play it. It's definitely a good surprise weapon. Now bishop b6. Classical. So there are different ways to approach this position. Alright, we're giving you a take back. I will not enforce mouse slips in a casual game. Why do we need another take back? He wants to take back his my last move is not necessary. No, but I mean, it's really no reason. I'm not playing for mouse slips here. Even in a rated game, if I see a move like that, I will offer a take back unless I'm like down to 5 seconds or something like that. Typically, I would grant a take back for obvious mouse slips. Some people live by the rule that they never ever grant takebacks. I think as long as you're consistent, that's your judgment. Up to your discretion. But for the sake of our stream, I'm absolutely granting takebacks. Now I could take with the queen there, and I think a lot of players would prefer to take with the queen. Maybe Magnus or Karyakin. Someone who's very structurally oriented. It's a matter of taste. Rook e8. This is kind of like to put pressure on the d4, or rather e4 pawn indirectly. Maybe even to support the d5 advance for black. I wonder about bishop g5 now. Could one sacrifice a piece in the event of like h6, bishop h4, g5, knight takes g5, h takes g5, bishop takes g5? There'd be an issue, right? There'd be bishop takes f2 check, king takes f2, knight takes e4 check. No, wait, I still have that knight. That knight is important. So that's weird. That line actually works. Bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, g5, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes g5. It's hard for him to get out of the pin. He could play rook e6, however. It's close, isn't it? Bishop g5, h6, bishop h4. And now, well, we only live once. Provocative and risky plan. Are you growing a goatee for the World Championship match? I don't time my personal grooming for the World Championship. It's just a coincidence. It's just not related to Ancient Aliens. It's simply bored. I had the opportunity to go with the goatee. I usually get bored of it pretty quickly. I don't think you'll see it for more than a week or so. We'll see. Alright, so Nefedov here. I'm gonna take a chance. Roll the dice. This may be unsound. Evening, afternoon. Welcome, Dim. Dim was a great sponsor of the stream last week. Nils, good to see you. Thank you guys. Thanks to all you guys for subscribing to the stream. If nothing else will make Nefedov think here, you could just grow a neck beard and braid it. Yeah, that's great, man. Thanks for your input. Alright. I've become like Hungarian international master Laszlo Eperjesi, who can't stop touching his beard or his goatee. He's been doing this for like 30 years. Just doing this for 30 years. I mean, it's brutal, dude. It's addictive. Watching Eperjesi do that for like basically the last 20 years, I guess it just inspired me. Once you start, you can't stop. It's just ridiculous. Like, you just start doing this, and it gives you something to do at the board. That's the main point of the goatee. Anyway, I kind of have to hold my brain is large, so I have to hold my head up anyway. Nefedov goes for it. I wonder if he's listening to the stream, like if he knew I was going to sacrifice this piece here. I hope he's not surprised by this, because this was basically the whole point. 101 for the new week. Thanks, Dim. Thank you so much. Dim, a.k.a. Jim. You'd think like Nefedov would be listening to the stream, but some people turned it off when they're playing, you know. Now, we had to be careful about bishop takes f2, but we already mentioned that our knight on g3 is functioning, so. King safety is better than being up a piece, according to Will Wolf. Maybe right. If rook e6, I have queen f3. That looks good enough. I don't think, yeah, I think that black may be in big trouble here. We're building up and we're threatening knight h5, and I don't know that there's really a good defense for black. Dethroned Mr. Oh, you dethroned the Mr. Okay. Well, not Mr. Coffee. The other Mr. Clash Kid. Mr. Clash Kid is going to be angry when he gets here, Dim. He's not going to be happy to see that he's no longer in control. I don't think there's really a good way for black to deal with this. Percy Hepworth, what's up? Again, Dim, thank you. Asterbait cheered 2. Mr. Asterbait. Oh, Mr. Asterbait. Okay, yeah, Mr. Asterbait was in charge with 2 bits. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. He'll donate more for sure. Absolutely. So we're going to be playing, sorry for the late start, but we will compensate on the back end. So I started about 15 minutes late. We'll go till 2:45, I guess, today. Let me check my schedule. Make sure there's nothing on the schedule. So today is, yeah, we're good to go. Queen f8. He has queen h6. I have knight h5. There's also queen g4 check for whatever that. My phone just scared the crap out of me. Alright, it's sitting on my right hand. I forgot it was there. Well, hopefully there's nothing wrong with this move. It appears the Nephidai was running out of... Now that is another mouse slip. I don't know, I think this is sheer desperation. This is no longer a mouse slip from Nephidai there. There's simply nothing to do. Okay, good start to the day. Nils is challenging with rabbit chess, 7+3. Zenchess just woke up. You just woke up. Damn, dude, you're up late last night. I hope you're on the West Coast, Zenchess. Just woke up and the best streamer in the world is on. Yay. That's awesome, man. That's better than a donation. Just boosting my ego. Nefido says I need to change my mouse. Well, anyway, I don't think that, we need to give you a take back for bishop e3 because you're toast there anyway. Okay, Nils is up next, 7+3. Thank you, Nefido, for an instructive game. Need to work on that Joko piano because I'm no expert. D4. Eperyeshi master. I got the Eperyeshi goatee. Ladies, man. So, I won't get into those stories now. D4, knight f6. Nils is good in the opening. He's really, for his rating level, very well prepared. Let's try something different. To try to throw Nils off. Nefidov, mouse problems are serious for internet chess. You definitely want to be careful about that. Yesterday I had an English defense with Asterbait. He played d5 here. It was this position, right, Asterbait? Guys, check out the Discord channel. It's Pub Sladgie on Discord. You can see it there. The Mubat is showing it. Now, Nils just played knight f3, so he's usually playing the white side of the Nimzo, and we can transpose him to a Queen's Indian, which he doesn't play. So that shows some inconsistency in his repertoire. Yeah, let's just do that. I play all different stuff. I play the Bogo, the Queen's Indian. Obviously, I'm not going to be playing the Blumenfeld here with my pawn on b6. But for a guy who normally plays knight c3, to be forced to play the white side of a Queen's Indian Nimzo hybrid, I guess, is... He normally plays the classical. So if he plays Queen c2 now, it's kind of off the main line. Brutal work day, but I'll watch today. About 6:50 FIDE after work. Watching is safe. I think it's a good thing to do if you're tired, not to play competitive games. But instead, you can watch videos. It's the perfect time to watch chess videos. Maybe you can't really do like problems and stuff like that. So Nils is, critical thinking is out the window when you're tired. So watching stuff, possibly reading a chess book would be good. But knowing when to stop playing, Percy Hepworth, and just like try to do like low maintenance learning. So here we transpose, and I had a game against somebody, like maybe Arsenal fan, I don't remember who it was, but I got in trouble by playing bishop a6 too early in a line like this. I guess c5 is okay. c5, knight c6, typically. Though he hasn't played e3. See, that's the weird thing here. It's the same-ish. If I play c5 right away, we could try something weird like bishop f4. Maybe I'll castle. Asterbate says, yeah, I pushed pawn to stop knight development. Now g3. Okay, this is a totally different thing. That c4 pawn is looking lonely. Scared of phones. Clipped my phone fear. It was like, did. And by the way, I had a really nice call from like a guy in Budapest today at 6 o'clock in the morning. I just want to thank you, random Hungarian caller, for waking me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. He was like, is Lazar Andrea there? He like misses Mrs. Lazar Andrea or something in Hungarian. I'm like, what's going on? Why is my Hungarian phone ringing at 6 o'clock in the morning? Um, that was just not pleasant. But at least he was nice, and we actually spoke in both languages, which was funny. Most Hungarian callers probably wouldn't necessarily be very fluent in English. This guy really knew what he was doing. That was nice. Knight on BD7. Yeah, this might be a mistake by me. So Asterbay says that bishop a6 is iffy. Critical thinking is very hard when you're tired. Definitely avoid playing blitz and trying to do like puzzles and stuff. You'll just like frustrate yourself like endlessly. That's the perfect time to watch a video. You know, maybe read a chess book. Okay, a4. Is a5 a threat? I think so. It's a positional threat. Our classic Nimzavochian. I was joking about this, but I'm half serious. Like, I'm developing dementia. Yeah, there it goes again. I'm developing dyslexia. Not an easy word to say and remember. Maybe I have both, but I start saying the words in reverse order. I had a science teacher in high school who had dementia. Yeah, whatever. Forget it. This is a bad move, Queen C2, because I wanted to go there anyway, Nils. You basically gave me a tempo to execute my plan. You know, you have an interesting possibility to sacrifice a pawn here with d5. Pawn takes pawn, and then like knight to d4. I think it's a very interesting positional pawn sacrifice for white right now. Right about now. The Funk Soul Brother. I mean, when you get a chance to do this sort of pawn sacrifice in the Queen's idea, my experience says do it. You can do like d5, ed, and then like knight h4, or knight d4. The other day I confused the Queen's Gambit with the King's Gambit. Absolutely. I don't even know the difference between dyslexia and dementia. They both start with D and end with A. So diarrhea is also included. But knight here being pinned, I want to guarantee an exchange of bishops. And then we've got like that pawn to target later on, better pawn structure. But white missed his chance to play d5. Now, getting to the current position, he played queen d1. Okay, what's up next? Alright, rook e8. I ought to think about playing d5, but it's funny, you know, d5. I had a very similar blitz game. I'm all over the place in my chatter here, but I had a very similar blitz game earlier this week against a random guy in a blitz tournament, almost the same position. It's just tricky because in a way I want to play against this pawn with something like maybe queen c6, try to attack it. On the other hand, like you want to play d5 because you want to fix your pawns on the white squares to make his bishop on c1 bad and fix his remaining pawns on like c3 and d4. So it's kind of like a paradox, you know. On the one hand, you don't want to trade off the pawn on c4. It's a doubled pawn. On the other hand, you want to play d5 because you want to fix his pawn. So it's a Greek word, according to Dim. You're just biased. Everything is a Greek word. Like, effectively. Everything from the last 1,000 years or something. What do you call them Irish pawns, by the way? Okay, there's a story about that, I guess. It's a fairly modern thing. Is it Tony Miles? I highly recommend this guy Jeff Lawton wrote a book about Lawton or Lawson? Lawson wrote a book on Miles, and that's a good book. I think Miles may have coined this phrase of Irish pawns. Jeffrey Lawson. Is that it? I'm not sure now. Who wrote the book on Tony Miles? There might be more than one. Bishop f5 confirmed. Interesting. Bishop takes f3 would be... Wow, Zen Chess with an awesome donation. It looks like 50 bits. It's hard to count them. I had no idea. You're going to do game commentary on the World Championship match. No clue. Not my normal modus operandi, because it's just, those games are long. I normally do 2.5 hour streams. But maybe we'll do something, special. That's a good question. Good idea. Bishop h3 is an excellent move. Another classic maneuver is like rook e1, bishop f1. Excellent move, sir. So if I give up my bishop, man, I'm kind of sad. Excellent move confirmed. Bishop h3. Alright, what are we going to do, guys? Not that excited about bishop takes f3. Be perfectly honest. I mean, e5 kind of makes some sense. That was... What if I played h6 here, and then knight d2, bishop h7, f3. His center is going to be so strong. I really don't know what to do. I played rook e8 with the intention of playing e5, but I have no idea what I'm doing here. Caruana needs to win to restore balance. Speaking of restoring balance, alright, tomorrow's November 6th, right? Let's see, knight d2, bishop g6, bishop b7, d takes e, e takes d. I was actually going to do that, undouble his pawns. Is that a good idea? Darn, I mean, maybe I shouldn't do that. This is really tough. I literally am just playing by my momentary inspiration now. I don't know what to do. This seems weird to go back to b7, but g6 is very artificial. I never thought I'd say, like, yay, election day. Yeah. Be a citizen and vote. Bishop b7. You have an excuse for not subscribing? There's a technical glitch somewhere preventing payment from processing, and I'm not skilled enough to remedy it. Whoa. Fish rat cow. Just give me absolute access to all your financial stuff, and I'll make sure to find a solution. So here, seriously, trading pieces would be good. How about this? My basic thought process here is that I'm running out of time, first of all, but I don't know, Fish Rat Cow, you're the first person that said there was a processing problem. I know that it's a pain to, like, call somewhere, like, contact technical support on Twitch. Has anybody else had similar issues? But it's strange that bits are not a problem, and the subscribing would be. Just give me your credit card and social security number. Man, I had a brutal scam artist the other day pretending to be Microsoft on the phone. They were clearly... But according to the Federal Communications Commission, you should just hang up on scam callers. Don't get into fights with them. Supposedly, according to the Federal Communications Commission, scam callers can be fined $41,000 for calling numbers that are on the do not call list. I wonder how often that actually takes place. Like, that'd be awesome. Knight e4. Just try and trade pieces. We've got the better structure. Bishop takes e4. The less pieces, the less complications he can stir up here. White is... I don't know. White has good control of the center. I think he's okay. He does have the doubled pawn, but he has the bishop pair to compensate. He can probably play f3. I think he's okay. Objectively, it's about equal. You have 1,000,001 security checks in place, like ad blockers and stuff like that. Yeah, that's probably why. It's probably something in your security that's not letting it go through. All right, I'm like shivering. It's chilly here. I don't want to fix his pawns, but I also don't really know what to do. I just basically told him a good plan. It's hard to decide on a plan here. Wade has played really solid. Nils is 1,700, but I feel like he's got the capability to be at least 2,000 very quickly based on his level play against me. Very, very correct, solid play. I was literally thinking about playing what? This is kind of ironic, you know. To not trade your bad bishop. Go back to G2. Damn, dude. That's hardcore. Voluntarily not trade that piece, man. Wow. Now he's got the C5 coming. I guess I'm gonna have to play something ugly. This creates a lot of weaknesses, but he also has weaknesses. So it's controversial. Controversial Nimzo Indian. Somebody dial Sergei Tivyakov for me, please. I need to know how to play the black side of the Nimzo Indian. Nils is like a grandmaster. Damn, dude. Gotta leave me alone, dude. I'm literally about to lose on time. This guy's like the strongest 1700 in the world. It's like ridiculous. Wait, he dropped something. Oh, I had a fork there too. That was dumb. Should have played knight d3. I got a pawn instead. I don't know if I should trade this. Again, he doesn't trade it. Now we should be winning. Intensely competitive. I literally like forgot you could play that. That was kind of funny. I just had 100 moves. 500 master games of chess today. Great book, Spectacular Camel. If I had more time, I'd show you my copy. Tartakover. Saveli Tartakover. I think Nils got disconnected or something. His resistance just slowed down to non-existent. He's running out of stuff now. I guess we can bring a second pawn. The bishop's doing a good job. And now how do I break through? He's gonna lose a piece. Tricked you. Alright, man. 63 moves. Wow. You thought Camel Culture was in the chat. No, that's the other Camel. You can play both. Alex says, I'm a French defense player, but considering Nimzo defense because you have a good white bishop instead of... well, I mean, the Nimzo, it's not so clear, Alex, like what your good bishops are and your bad bishops are. Depends on the structure. What I like about the Nimzo Indian is the flexibility you have in your pawn structure. There's so many different structures you can actually adopt on the back side, the black side of the Nimzo. What I like about it is your flexibility. That was a really good game by Nils. Like, I think until move 40, he was really doing okay. You know, he's probably... It was a really interesting decision. Maybe not move 40, okay. Where is it? Actually, where is move 40? Yeah, move 40. Can I see this for a second? Just to point this out, guys. To show Nils, let me stop the engine. To show more around move 40, but let's go back a little bit more. Move 40 is already too late. He's lost. But before that, all right, I exaggerated. Move 30, let's say. I don't like what he did, you know, giving me the e5 square. Probably about here. I expected him to recapture with the pawn now. Let's see what the engine says. Yeah, pawn takes. So I was going to sacrifice a pawn in this position with f5 to try to clarify the center. And I wasn't really sure what's going on here. And white has an enormous amount of space with all those pawns and the pressure down the b file. But I thought if I can fix this pawn, but maybe this, you know, maybe this just wouldn't even be sound. I really don't know. You know, I just thought his structure would be really dicey after f5. Yeah. So this is valid. This was probably the best idea. Anyway, interesting game, Nils. Zenchess says Sladgie Discord. So our Discord is there. Pub Sladgie. You can see that Zenchess right there. Alright, Candela. We're taking subscribers first today. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Fridays I play everybody. But Candela, if you're not a subscriber, I'm going to have to take the subscribers first. So right now we've got Yubadis is a subscriber. We're going to take his challenge first. Then we'll go in order if there's no subscriber challenges. Bob is back. Bob, be careful, okay? I see that you're with us. You know, you're not banned from the chat. So try to behave yourself today. Don't accuse people of being engines, Bob, without evidence to support it. Just ignore him, Candela. He just tries to troll people to stir up controversy. Don't take anything Bob says seriously. He's basically on parole from being banned from the chat, as far as I know. Okay, Yubadis is white. What am I going to play today? Let's play e5. No one takes what Bob says too seriously. He's trying to stir trouble. So, but I mean, he's entertaining, and we try to put up with him, basically. Scalyleaf says my online alias is Bob too. Bob Sakamoto as well. Okay, knight c3. I've played several weird moves against this lately. f5 and bishop b5. Bob is fairly common. Oh, Fishrat Cow has a new subscription. It says Zen Chess. Alright, I don't know. Don't talk about food, guys, no matter what you do. So mainline Vienna Gambit, I guess. Is this the Vienna Gambit? Arsenal fan, what's up? Bob, you just typed into the chat. Never mind. I didn't accuse anybody of being an engine. I just said he played really well. I'm not ruling out anybody from being engines when I'm playing in a simul. I don't know one way or the other, Bob, but I'm not going to make accusations. Okay, e takes d5. E takes d5, but I wish you wouldn't go there, Bob, really. We start talking about computers and stuff like that, and people get really angry and it distracts from the stream. So let's just report anyone you suspect of seriously being an engine to lichess, and let's leave it at that. d5, e takes d5, not the most common move. Typically they play f takes e there, and then you have to play knight e4. Yeah, but again, I basically suspect anyone, you know, who's only played a couple games. I will keep reserve judgment for later. E takes d5. So this transposes to the... I'm crazy. This transposes to the King's Gambit, actually. What am I supposed to play, though? Like, knight takes d5, actually? If knight takes d5, f takes e, queen h4 check. What's that about? Yeah, Bob, don't say I accused anybody of being a computer, because I didn't say that, you know. That's not really true. I just said he was the most computer-like of my games, but I didn't say those words that I thought he was a computer. That's not the same. In the heat of battle, I become very angry, but I'm not fully, you know, I'm not fully accusing anybody of being a computer. In the heat of battle, when I'm playing like 20 games, I tend to make innuendos sometimes. But that's different from formally accusing somebody. The word was suspicious, yeah, and I reserve the right to put people in a category of suspicious, you know. That's true. But that doesn't mean one way or the other. You know, you're in a gray area. We have to be careful, Bob. You know, there could be strange people online. Let's try this. It's the Albin, what's it called? Not the Albin, the Falk beer. Let's change the subject. I agree, Arsenal fan. It's just really pissing me off. We just let Bob back in the chat, and he's already stirring controversy. E takes d, e4. Dude, you brought it up, man. We're not putting it on you. You're the one that brought it up. There's no reason to start bringing negativity to the stream immediately in the first 15 minutes when I'm on. Alright, e4. Sowing discord among the Discord. What is our Discord? Speaking of Discords, and you were just bringing up Discord. So now, Bishop g4. Is this a move? What's up with Bishop g4? That's a different line. So d3. Yeah, so this is technically like an inferior Falkbeer. I've played this with white. Like, you're supposed to play d3 before knight c3. And so, pressing upward, let's talk about 2-0 in 1989. Who was 2-0 against me in 1989? Probably a lot of players. You saw Evan's Gambit come up in my YouTube chest. Yeah, that's weird. Evan's Gambit come up in my YouTube chess tracking. Yeah, well, you got to be careful about watching just like random videos. I mean, I would say little quality control is in order. I have no clue about the theory here, but I do know with white, I had this and I got in some trouble because I messed up the move order. Theoretically, he's supposed to play queen e2 first. So there's some nasty lines. There's like Alyukhin games with bishop d2, e3 sacrifice. I remember clearly. That's theory. Very dangerous line for white. What's up, Blue-Eyed Albino? Thanks for joining us. Well, basically, anytime I get trashed, you know, I'm gonna be careful. Bishop b4, but this is a main line of the Falkbeer, I guess. Inferior to d3 immediately, but you can't avoid it. Like if you're gonna play this move order with knight c3 on move 2. Supporting Liverpool. I don't know too much about like English Premier League. Oh man, that coffee had a little bit of coffee grain in the bottom. Filter coffee, great. I miss European coffee. Why don't we talk about that, Bob? We talk about European, you know, coffee versus American coffee. That's a little bit less controversial. So, okay, he just challenges me straight up. That makes sense. I have to take this. Speaking of the Evans Gambit, I don't know much about the Evans Gambit. Arsenal fan says European coffee sucks versus South American coffee. Well, I don't mean coffee like grown in Europe. Arsenal fan. Like, I'm talking about like, you know, European style coffee. Serving it or preparing it in European style. I'm just saying like something other than filter coffee, you know. Espresso style coffee. Alright, let's just leave it at that. So queen e7, is that a good move? Or is that some sort of dumb blunder that lets them play like queen e5 and trade queens? That's not a good move. Is it? Actually, queen e7, queen e5, queen e5, fe5, knight c3, a3 is okay for white. Powder coffee. I like this description. All coffee, when it's ground up, I guess becomes a powder substance. That's not the problem. I call espresso European coffee. That's true. What else to describe it as? You know what I'm talking about, right? Communication succeeded. In the what? In the cafe up Holloway Road. Okay, queen e7, queen e5 does seem like a strange move. I could take on c3 right away. Does that help? I mean, he obviously has other moves as well. I feel like I'm missing something here. Well, there's queen h4 check. I didn't even think about it. What happens there? Queen h4 check, g3. Bishop takes c3 check. You could even take with the queen on c3. That's ridiculous. I don't know. Man, I literally do not know. But I feel like I'm messing this up. This isn't supposed to be good for white. Miles. Feel bad for people who don't have coffee #1 stores. Alright, I don't know, guys. I'm just confused. College Bob worked in a fine dining restaurant. We had to learn every possible kind of espresso and coffee drink. Bob is a coffee expert. Too hard, off for a draw. No, alright. No draws. Alright, I wasted all my time thinking in circles, trying to rediscover the secrets of the Falk beer. But I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with FE, Queen D4. I wonder, sorry, DE. Well, I don't have a choice there. I have to play Knight takes E4, Queen D4. What is the deal with this position? Like, I'm supposed to play Bishop takes C3 and castles. That was my original plan, but then I decided it was lame for black. Bishop takes C3, castles, Knight F3, Rook E8. I think I probably played that position with the white pieces in blitz before. So Queen takes G7, obviously, is a good move for white here. I guess you could actually try it if you're really, really insane. Well, we have solid compensation for the pawn. I mean, I think that's just a rational way to look at this. White has weaknesses along the file, and his pawns are extended on F4 and D5, so even if you don't calculate, you know there's a basis for this position to be pretty good for black. Alright guys, welcome to my stream. We are playing Blitz and Rapid Chess against subscribers and viewers. Fish Rat Cow, thanks again for donating 100 bits. And sorry for the distractions, but Fish Rat Cow, you did get subscribed. Okay, so it's not a new account. I feel like we're on the verge of like winning almost, but don't see a breakthrough. Alright, what do we do? What would Bronstein do? I was talking about Bronstein because of the book in my bathroom. I'm not really sure though. This may still all be theory, and I'm about to lose on time. You gift sub by Zenchess. Okay. Thanks, Zenchess. Been very supportive of the stream. I want to thank Zenchess. Also donated 450 million bits today. 45 bits today. I'm glad Ubatis gets busted in the opening like I do, but he's not busted. That's the problem. He's not quite busted, you know. I mean, if he was busted, I would probably have more than 26 seconds left right now, Bob. Unfortunately, he's not quite finished yet. Maybe now he is. Even now, I'm not sure. Bishop C5. Queen D3. Knight G3. I think this actually works. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think Ubatis has finally seen light. There's this move I did not see at all. But it's just a flash in the pan. Knight D5? Shouldn't really change. Queen D5. That wasn't his best. Now again, we have a problem. Not with that move. He wasn't completely busted. I mean, this is an interesting line. Problem is I don't know enough theory. Let me turn off the engine here. Let's just look at the opening book. So clearly he transposed to this Albin line, and I don't know enough about it. Paul Morley, closely related to Paul Morphy, who probably played this position as well. But no, seriously, it looks like Bishop D2. But again, this gambit, man. I mean, this is known. You know, this is. I said like Alyoshin, but I was wrong. It was probably like freaking Morphy who played this first. Actually, I think it's a Morphy game. E3, long before Alyoshin or anybody from the 20th century. This is ancient stuff. So that's like the main line. But it's funny because this looks like, you know, a little more lively to play D takes E4 here. Very natural. Knight takes E4. And then the big thing was I was thinking about Queen H4 check, but I don't think that works. And my original intention was to play Bishop takes C3, the most commonly played move. But let's see what the engine says. Queen E7, dudes. This is what I spent all my time on. You know, thinking about Queen H4, it probably doesn't work. Is E4 even the best idea? You mean D E4? No, as we said, I don't know. This is probably critical. The Gorky Park Hustler. The Gorky Park Hustler, Valentin Arbakov, famous for not changing his clothes for like 10 days in a row, played this variation with white in 2000. But Queen E7. Let's see, we're still in theory here. This is really interesting. Look, there's like no games, and it's absolutely critical. Bishop E3 dubious, according to the engine. So now we just castle. We're following the one game that's ever been played between masters. It's amazing. There's no games. Knight F3. Bishop F5. It looks like we played really well. Is there a better move? Yes, Rook E8 apparently. Packing a lot of power along the E file here. That's better than Bishop F5, I guess. Alright guys, let's move on. So, Yubatis' opening not really the problem. I think, okay, it's hard to play, it's risky. But, so I'm going to take the challenge from Blue-Eyed Albino and Chesstosterone and Zen Chess. If you guys are not subscribers, just stick around, and you should be able to get a game in. If you're at the top of the list, like Candela, Arturus, those guys should be able to get a game. I don't guarantee like people further down the line. Refusing Bishop takes C3 and Queen H4 check. Well, I mean, Queen H4 check could end up being the kind of move that helps white, because he could possibly have the additional move like Bishop G2 that he wouldn't have in another position. So you can kind of figure out. My stream is probably crashing now due to the engine, but this was an interesting game, Yubatis. Thanks for playing that line. I'm gonna take Blue-Eyed Albino and Chesstosterone and Zen Chess. S. Courtright is challenging me to 5+0, but he should change his challenge to 5+3. And as a supporter of the stream, I will take S. Courtright as he's not actually a subscriber on Twitch, but he's a regular sponsor of the stream. So I would take his challenge along with the other subscribers. Okay, Blue-Eyed Albino, Chesstosterone, Zen Chess, Seth Courtright. Then we'll take the other guys. Blue-Eyed Albino. And then wasn't very good at chess. And then versus Morphy. Alright, we'll try to play the Caro-Kann. I like the Caro-Kann, but the Caro-Kann doesn't like me. But I keep trying to play it. How's my rating? My blitz rating's down because I lost 60 points to a forfeit victory. The other day there was 1 minute left in a 5-minute tournament, and I left the tournament because I thought there's no way you get paired with, like, I didn't think it would pair you with under 2 minutes left. That's kind of weird. Normally it doesn't do that. Trying to gift sub to get it to work. I'm sorry, this is PayPal issue, no doubt. You went from Firefox to Chrome to Opera. So this is a kind of rare line here that Blue-Eyed Albino's playing. By playing this move order, he kind of sidestepped my usual Panov systems. Asterby says that Google owns PayPal. Somebody owns PayPal, that's for sure. So now the bishop g4. I can also play g6 though. But against this guy, you know, Blue-Eyed Albino has like a plus score against me. So I'm going to be on the safe side. Now, Spectacular Camel, who's our resident techspert, he says that eBay owns PayPal. You see, I didn't really realize that eBay was still at this point its own entity. That's kind of hard to believe. Something that's been around as long as eBay is still a real thing. So Blue-Eyed Albino and I will go into the endgame variation. So eBay bought PayPal, then spinned it off to an independent company in 2015, according to Bob. Now there's an argument. The Spectacular Camel Culture, no, they're different people. Camel Clutcher. Camel Culture is more politically correct than Camel Clutcher. Don't you think? In today's political environment, we just can't have people called Camel Clutcher on the loose. Queen takes b7. Yeah, so why is this confusing me right now? I don't know. It's so rare that I play this variation. Basically, I never play it with black because I don't want to draw. But if I'm playing a player who has a really good score like this player does against me, I will play it, you know. U.S. Amateur Championship in 1989, I finished second. And the last round game where I could have won the tournament against Edgar McCormick, who was this old master, he played like something weird. He did like, let's see, knight f3. He did knight f3, bishop g4, and he did like bishop e2 or bishop e2 against me. It was like, what's that? Okay. Not a lot of choices there after queen c6 check. This is all theory. There was a game where Ryazantsev lost with white really stupidly. It was kind of a joke. Like, I never seen anyone lose with white in 20 moves in this line before, but he managed to do it. Queen d7 is playable. No, my rook is hanging on a8, Arsenal fan. I never used eBay. It's ancient, right? But it's still around. So this is like the starting position for this variation. It's all book. And rook fc8, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He knows like everything. I don't really know too many people who would play this line with white on purpose. The only person I ever saw play it was my friend Bill Kelleher. And he played it like against a strong player. I guess this makes sense to trade bishops. Not really sure what the textbook move is. White is supposed to be like infinitesimally better in this type of endgame. I'm certainly not an authority. Seems like white got rid of his double pawn, so he's like a tiny bit better. But my king is also in the game, so not really sure which is more important. From Mastodon. What is... Yeah, it must be a pretty common Irish name. I would imagine Arsenal. It's kind of like Joe McCarthy or something. It's the the very, very typical name. He's a strong FIDE master who should have been an IM. Anyway, the only person I ever saw who really tried to play this line with white for a win with very little success. It's just a draw, like theoretically, I guess. I'm not sure about what I did though with bishop c5. I don't think that's not sure about that one. I was a little nervous there at that point. So I'm still slightly worse. I mean, I don't understand what I'm doing here. This endgame is a little better for white. He has an outside pawn, although my king should compensate. That's basically what I said a minute ago. I think he could have played better. I think he could have played... He could have played e4 when both rooks were on the board in the center, and that really scared me, to be frank. If he had played e4 with the rooks doubled, I was scared. Maybe I'm toast, to be honest. This is a little ugly. There's like no way in there. What if I were to play like rook c4? It's weird. How's that king and pawn in game with my great king? Take, king. Take h4. That would really mess me up. No, I had queen there. King c2, king there, king c3, king c4. The thing is, like, I'll eventually get into Zugzwang if I play rook c4. Seems like a problem. So what do? You know, you just kind of hang out. We just try to hang out, basically. Now it's a little different, because I think here I can do rook c4. And just kind of pry my way into the position. I hope this wasn't a miscalculation. I mean, I don't know. I might be winning. Looks like I'm actually winning. See, he has a really nasty trick of some kind. King G3. But he seriously has king there. What if he followed me? Now, what if he had followed me, seriously? I mean, I think that would have been a strange situation. Can he stalemate my king? Let me see. Let's go back here to when we exchanged rooks. The engine says it's just flat winning. What's that, negative 20? I thought there was a way he could like stalemate my king. Peter says A4 is the best move. That's what he played, H4. So I, for some reason, thought maybe... See, there I should have played... That was inaccurate. I should have played King F2. Actually, it's putting him to Zugzwang. That's much cleaner. Okay. This move was slightly inaccurate, because he could have played here. I started to have some fantasy here about this. But it's not. I have a tempo with my pawn. It's stupid. Okay. So we're just totally winning. He shouldn't trade rooks. And we were okay all the way. 7 cent-a-pawn loss. I wonder if bishop c5 is book, though, you know? I mean, this much is book. Move 17. So at this point, Dreyev's played this several times. There's also rook hd8. That's slightly more common, apparently. This is book. This is the main line. Okay. So this is... It's all theory. But this is rare. So apparently rook c1, rook e1 are more common than rook d1. Though that should be fine, too. Following one Milan Vukic game here from 1980. Obviously, this is most likely a draw. But there was one moment when I was nervous here, when I thought he had e4. I was concerned about this. I don't want to go into too much analysis. But check out this. I mean, this is actually dangerous for black. So I can't take. The computer's recommending rook c3. I mean, give me a break. This is a little scary. I'd have to play rook d8 and then be in this eternal pin in this position. I think I have f5 maybe, trying to clarify the situation, you know, at some point. But that would have been weird. Okay, guys, let's get out of here and get to the next game. So we got a million challengers. I'm never going to get to all of them. I'm going to try to take the subscribers. Chess Testosterone, Zen Chess, and Escort, right? And then Scoble. Lice Monsters, I'm a subscriber. I'm now your boss. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Lice Monsters. Does not make you my boss quite, but it's close. You paid €5 to Jeff Bezos. Not exactly. Does Amazon own Twitch? No, I guess they do, right? Alright, thank you for subscribing, guys. No, seriously, thank you, Waste Monsters. Good luck, Turkey. Haven't seen the turkeys lately. What are we going to do? Let's just play G3, something hyper modern. I guess Amazon. Amazon is the unstoppable company. E4 would be dangerous. Yeah, that looks like black has to be very accurate there. So I don't really think there's anything wrong with rook d1 objectively. Yeah, it's all very confusing, Zen Chess. Keep track of who owns what and how they're intertwined and stuff. Yeah, Twitch is connected. You can buy your subscription through Amazon Prime. Testosterone symmetrical. Okay, he does play the modern defense. What are we gonna do to avoid totally a boring life here? One thing that I really liked about Tigran Petrosian was when he played a few games where it was like symmetrical King's Indian attacks. That's really unique. Here I had a game against a little kid, and I think it was in Hungary 2 years ago, in Zalakaros, very strong open. An Indian kid who was like a top prodigy for under 13, was rated like 2150. I don't remember his name. Maybe it was even higher, like 2200. But I just remembered that he played c5 in this position, and I was just like demoralized because it's the only move that's really critical, that puts pressure on white. Of course, I can play d5, and I probably should take the space. But that's an accurate move. I think that's the most dynamic. And if I play something lame like c3, which is what I did against the little kid. The game with the little kid was c3, queen b6. Like, again, a very good move. Like, probably the best for black. I felt like I was slightly worse after 4 moves. This is a tournament where I drew like 8 games and lost 20 rating points or something. You got refunded 4 bullet points. Alright, we're going to take the space. I guess this is objectively white's only try for an advantage in this position. We could transpose to a Benoni, a fianchetto Benoni. The problem with that was that I don't. C5 knight f3. It's not an English Arsenal fan, because I haven't played c4. It's another thing. It's really like, I don't know what it is, but it's not that good for white. Whatever it is, it's not that good. So, what would Anatoly Karpov do? This is not part of my usual opening repertoire. The problem is I don't play the fianchetto against the Benko or the Benoni, and you really have to know what you're doing in those fianchetto lines for white. Well, white has no central pawns. After knight f3, c takes d, black equalizes immediately, Arsenal fan. That's the main problem. After 3 moves, black is equalized by destroying white's center. No, it's playable. I mean, Magnus Carlsen could play it, you know, and probably beat people. Like most openings, it's very hard to get an advantage against any opening. But I think in that case, black equalizes on move 3. You're making a presentation. Wait, what's that? Nils? Scoble here. Oh, Scoble was here. He's challenging me. Is he still a subscriber to the stream? We should get a check on Scoble. Are you here? Still subscribing? I hope. Thanks, guys, for supporting the stream. Nils, are you and Scoble both from the same place? Or you just know each other from lichess? This is a strange move. Now, we're happy to see that, because that's going to take away the b5 breaks and the gambit type of stuff that he should really go for. Well, you never met in real life. Okay. I was curious. Ah, that was supposed to be b5. Uh-oh. Damn touchscreen. I was so happy to see b6. Is that a take back? You want to do a take back? I mean, I will give you the take back. It was a sincere mouse slip, just like we had earlier. I thought it looked weird, you know, but you never know. I mean, some people might play b6 there. It's not that bad for black. It's not like a devastating. It's not a devastating mistake. In other words, probably I should consider playing something like a4 or c4. A knight now, I'm wondering if it should have gone to e2 in this type of structure. We're gonna have a little trouble sorting our queen side. If b4 a3 is interesting, trying to break the queen side. I would imagine this is probably like a kind of known concept. You have to make him 2100. He should make you 2100 because it seems like you're underrated, Nils. Alright, a3. Breaking the queenside structure. Bishop a6, perhaps. Be strange. I never ever play this kind of anti-Benko line where you're doing c4, b4 and playing this type of structure. So you played Niels the other day, he beat me, but I didn't feel he was underrated. Every time, man, today was a struggle. It felt like it was 100 moves against Niels. Alright, I'm getting out of here. So pawn takes to a3, we have dual defenses. He doesn't want to do that. I can take on b4 maybe next move. Can wait a moment. This looks a little artificial. I mean, there does seem to be something a bit artificial about black's position there. But I don't know if it's easy to take advantage of it. Alright guys, we're going to play as many challenges as I can get to. I've got another hour left in the stream. The subscribers remaining include Zen Chess, Ascord Right. If you're listening to the stream, re-challenge me to 5+3 instead of 5+0. HGG is not a subscriber. Scoble, although HGG is a friend of the stream. Scoble, Weiss Monsters. Weiss Monster. So AB. Take them in reverse alphabetical order. Damn it, I dropped my C pawn. So stupid. Now, the last time I dropped this pawn like this was against Igor Kovalenko. No, it's just a joke. We're just kidding. Just kidding. It's not really going to be dropped. We have rook a4, trapping his queen. Nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. I'm not sure it's even the best move now, though. The threat is stronger than the execution. Still, maybe it's a good move, though. Just drive him back. Weiss. Weissbier. We have the better structure. Now it's always a weird thing, but the diagonal is not open, so I don't know if there's anything I can really do about that. That queen there. b4 is tempting, but I don't think I can do it. We want to do b4. Break it down. Break it down, but how? Not easy to do. Even if I could get in b4, he just can blockade c5, so. Alright, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. We've got to watch the c4 pawn. I've already alluded to that. Kind of a weird position. We have more space, but bishop's buried here on c1. This is securing c4 for good and evil. Thought you were ethnic monsters. Everything is polarized. even... It's a beer monster. No. Bishop d7. Somebody was talking about bishop a6, but not here. The rook, will it have life laterally? Obviously, he's playing knight a6 anyway. So I'm not getting in b4, as I had once dreamed of. This is going to be hard to realize. We just have to accept it and move on. It's a lot like a King's Indian. I mean, the Benoni and the King's Indian are... In the old days, they used to classify them as the same opening. But I think they're structurally... The difference is significant. I mean, e5 versus c5 is a completely different opening, basically. So the modern classification of these openings is better. This is a Benoni. You know, if you play e5, it's effectively like a King Indian. Okay, h3. That's such a pivotal square. It gives him bishop g4, knight g4 to maneuver through. And then we're just going to try to roll him up in the center with e4, f4, etc. Though we have to be careful not to overextend ourselves. Black's structure is obviously hampered by the fact that he has an isolated pawn on a7. That's not ideal. That's the price he has to pay for his early activity. Yeah, but I don't quite agree with your assessment, Arsenal, because at the end of the day, I mean, in the center, it seems like white is doing all right. He does have that knight d3, though, so if I try to play e4, he'll jump in there. I still don't think that black is better. He may be okay, but I don't think he's better. I think saying black has an advantage here is definitely going a little bit too far. Now, on the other hand, it is difficult. Now, I don't have a good square for my queen. I can't let him into d3. We have to think about what to do. Maybe trading pieces. That seems kind of weird. I have more space, and then trading pieces doesn't seem right. It's true. So I guess I'm clueless on the white side of the Benoni fianchetto variation again. But I do not want to let him into d3. It's just really weird to play knight e4 and actually open his own bishop up. So I literally have no clue what I'm supposed to do. Not easy. I could see how you can make your claim, Arsenal fan, you know, that his rooks are connected, my pieces are still home, but still, there, you know, if you put it on an engine or something, there's no arguing that white's pawns in the center control a lot of space. So GM Canty, white is preferred. So it's difficult, though, you know, to say. It's kind of, what do you prefer, you know, space or the connected rooks and slightly more coordinated development? I don't know. You know, I think I'm just chickening out here with King H2 because I'm running out of time and I don't know what to do. We're just going to make a random move that is constructive to some degree. Guarding H3, getting my king off of this diagonal. But I don't really know what to do. I can't play E4 without knight D3 in my face. I don't like this, and I don't typically play the fianchetto Benoni. So I'm just... fellow streamer. Yeah, I'm protecting H3. It's a constructive move that doesn't, you know, affect my position detrimentally. Maybe I should play B3. That might cut off my rook, though. I would stop A4. There's knight G4 check. That's awkward. Yeah, I think I'll just pass on that. Maybe another day. F4 is probably not a bad move. It looks like there's a big vacuum. I mean, I got a lot of space to... But as I tell my students, space is like buying real estate, you know. Chess space is the same concept. You got to be responsible for the space you take. I've taken a lot of space here, and it's hard to maintain all those properties, you know, without overextending yourself. H4 wins the day. No, I don't want to weaken that G4 square acerbate. I don't want to let him in there. We're trying to roll him in the center. So just like the breakthrough with e4, e5, e6, e4, knight d3, e5, take. I don't really want to let him in there. I guess I could play rook f3. I mean, this looks extremely artificial. Absurdly artificial. g4, bishop f3. I don't know. We're just going to fake him out. Can I play like a sealer sweeper sacrifice with e5, f5? No. Now he's coming into d3. He's going to grab my bishop. He didn't do it right away. Now e6. He's got bishop c6 though. You know, that's going to save him at the end of the day. I'm basically sacrificing a pawn if I don't recapture here. So I don't know what else you would do. Got queen g4. G4 and f5. We're just getting crazy. Ultra materialistic. Whoops. That's not where I was trying to go. For lack of a better plan, the only plan is... and then Testosterone lost his mind. He played knight f6 there. I don't know what he's going to do, though. What am I going to do? He's still hanging out. Knight e4, does that drop a piece? Does it matter? Does it matter? That is strong. Little problem. So space wins the day. Alright, man. Interesting game. I think I bluffed you there because e5 probably... You know, if you come into d3 right away in that position, I think you should have like some kind of counterplay. Right here when you played rook b8, you got your one chance to come in and maybe take out that dark square bishop. That mated you at the end of the day, ironically. I don't know. Alright, let's see. Maybe that's the solution. Alright, so what's up, guys? We got about, I would say, 55 minutes left in the stream for today. We started a little bit late. Zen Chess is up next. I feel like there had to be some way after queen g4 for him to sacrifice and still survive, like sacrifice his g6 pawn. But he could have played g5, right? I mean, that would have at least put up some resistance. So Zen Chess, how can we... Let's try something weird. We'll play the Nimzovich defense to get Zen Chess out of his comfort zone. He actually likes closed positions, or not. Grand Prix attack type of stuff. The people that do the Grand Prix attack against the Sicilian can actually pretty much adopt a similar type of setup, you know, against the Nimzovich, I think. Mule Skinner and other people who subscribe to my stream will do that. Okay, so knight f3. d5 not so good here, so we do d6. There was a strange guy who recommended knight f6 there. Yubatis can tell you more about that. Knight c6 losing move. Maybe. I don't think it's that bad. Guys, we have way too many challenges, so I'm just trying to get through the subscribers, and hopefully we'll, you know, finish them out and be able to get to, like, I don't know why Candela got dropped. He was our first non-subscriber challenge. Roman adored the Grand Prix with bishop e5. Yeah, and I'm still getting that from Zen Chess and a lot of other players, Fish Rat Cow. Yeah, alright. Just hold on for a second. I'll be right back. Alright guys, it's a good thing I left the stream. There was an important phone call. Oh, he gave me more time. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. I had an unexpected phone call, and I wasn't sure, but I had a feeling it might be something important. So it's a good thing that I took it. Is there a reason why the main lines are main lines? Okay guys, so we got about 45 minutes left in the stream for today. We've got time for hopefully, 4 or 5 more games. Sorry, Zenchess, to hold you up. But you didn't have to give me more time. I would, I would be back and accept my 2 minutes sacrifice. Sorry to leave the stream in midair there, but an unexpected and important phone call. So, good thing. G6. I ignore questions he considers to be particularly bad. No, I just ignore questions I don't have. Let's see. What did I miss, Bob? I do ignore questions I think are particularly bad, of course. Obviously, I think that most streamers do that. But if I see another GPI close to and I hang myself, I know the fan. I'm really dyslexic. I know the feeling. Yeah, so we've seen this line before, bishop b5. I'm not gonna play bishop d7, I don't think. I'd rather just be done with this right away. But bishop a4, wow. I feel like I played this against someone. Something almost similar. So bishop g7, d5, b5. Knight takes b5, pawn takes b5. Bishop takes b5. That looks a little troubling. I guess you could play knight d7. That doesn't look right. You almost have to play b5. I think it was against Nefedov. One of our other opponents, obviously on the stream, but this looks kind of creepy. You make authoritarian pronouncements. Never mind, my bad. I thought someone asked something. Your rant for the day. Weiss Monsters was basically just making a rant. I guess. I ignored his rant. So bishop to a4. I'm thinking. So b5. He takes. I take. He takes. What am I talking about? He can't take. He has to play bishop b3. Then I'm lagging in development. So I have to play bishop g7. Then I take. I think that should probably be okay if I play b5 and then bishop g7. We've got to get developed here. I may have tried knight a5 in another game along similar lines. I mean, even that might be playable. It looks like you're really pushing the envelope there. e5 starts to be kind of troubling, but it might be playable to play knight a5. Knight a5. You could sack a piece, Cochrane Gambit style. Bishop takes f7 check. Neil says, you've played me quite a bit now. What would you suggest me play versus e4? Oh gosh. Well, something strategic and not, totally. I guess you have a wide variety of options, Nils. I mean, it's hard to narrow it down. Something correct, something theoretical. You like learning theory. I mean, you're playing d4 with white. So, against e4, I don't know. I mean, you could play e4, e5. You could play e4, c5. I think something critical, probably. Bishop b3, bishop g7, or knight a5. That's what I'm debating here. We'll go with development. How about we do that? You can never go wrong with development. Our thought for the day. Used to play the French, but not confident anymore, said Antonio. Well, you can never be confident in the modern defense, man. I mean, it's a highly risky opening, much like the Alyukhin or the Pirtz. Nil says, what? Oh, you guys played on that other chess site. Oh, gross. Okay, bishop g7. So, I declined to play knight a5, thinking wiser of myself to develop the pieces first. King is nowhere near developed yet, so we got to get one more move to castle. If e5, I just take, and then if he has to take back with the pawn, we'll trade queens. We should be okay, more or less. He doesn't really want to allow that. d5, I played a5. I think I should be okay there as well. So I was just kidding about bishop takes f7. I don't think that's really objectively sound. The Grand Prix attack of websites. Yeah, I have a chess student who approached me recently who doesn't play on lichess, and they only play on that other chess site. And I try to gently discourage people, but really, I mean, it's up to you. Why not bishop c4? I don't know what you're talking about. So h3 looks like a sensible move, albeit a little bit slow. Again, knight a5, e5. Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. Queen takes d1, check. It's kind of freaking me out. I feel like we should get developed first before we do any knight 5 type of stuff. Bishop b7 might not be a bad idea as well. Now this is getting more serious because e5 I think becomes a real sort of threat. I could play knight to d7. Speaking of threats. Threats and executions. I hope this move is okay. Please don't hurt me. It does feel a bit passive to play knight to d7. Yeah. Well, I'm going to eliminate that guy. That piece has just been on my radar for a long time. We gotta hunt that down and kill it. Like an alien in a video game. No, that's a really dangerous piece. I thought he could have gone h4. And a lot of people would try to exploit knight d7 by going postal here with h4. And it's probably justified, I would think. So castles. Well, there's no reason to rush now. With knight takes b3, we can get our bishops on the long diagonals and try to take things. The usual strategy. My queen is sort of buried. We'll have to maneuver creatively. But that's alright. I like the bishops long term. Hippo style. I'm actually threatening, you know, sometimes to play c5. Here I don't think it would be that great because he could just play like bishop to d5, looks like. Now that's a very awkward looking move for white, to move the queen a second time, but he was concerned about losing e4. It makes c5 look all the more tempting. So it looks pretty good for black here, but again, c5, bishop d5. Doesn't seem like a big deal, you know. I'm comfortable with my position. e6. E6 weakens my structure a lot. I think black is comfortable. Black has got to be fine here. But I'm looking for more. And again, c5, bishop d5. Still, it's probably a good position for black. What's my a knight doing, though, if I'm not taking that bishop? It's out on the side of the board looking kind of sad. Now what do we do? Got some play on the A file for white here. So we'll play thematically. This looks right. Bishops on the long diagonals. Apply pressure to the center. Try to undermine his center. Destroy it. Okay, we have time for approximately 4 more games. It looks like 3 or 4. If they're longer games, maybe only 3. I apologize if we don't get to any games today, but I can't guarantee I play everybody who's challenging me. Obviously, not easy to do that. Let's move it along. Zen Chess. He's been tough on me lately. He beat me a couple of games after a long drought. Knight c5 was my big idea, but it doesn't look that great now. Yeah, it looks like I'm a little bit unsure now. He seems to have a decent game. He's good at defense, actually, I would say. It's almost hard to define it, but you know, Zen Chess is like good at maintaining a stable sort of position. This knight c5 was a mistake, I think. Now white is just like centralized pieces in a decent game. I guess I can play b4 here. We'll probably have to go for that. What happens though? b4, knight d5. Maybe I have a tactic. Tick-tock. I don't like this that much anymore. Maybe, I mean, there you should definitely play queen e3. Rook c8. The dragon. I thought this was clearly your best option. No, you know, no worries about e5. Queen e2 is natural, but it doesn't seem quite as active as queen e3. I mean, probably we're splitting hairs on those two moves, to be honest. My king is a little bit less safe than his king, theoretically, due to the Keto bishop being traded off. But I don't think it's anything earth-shaking. We should be pretty solid here. Where to go with the knight, though, I'm really not certain. It's like a accelerated. It's like an accelerated dragon. I was gonna go to e6, and then I second thought it. Oh wow, h4. That's kind of crazy. All right. Inspired by Pandas. Pandas in Budapest, our biggest supporter of h4. h4 looks a little unrealistic there. He's gone too far. Maybe not. It's still not easy to say. Of course. He's a very, very good defender. I'll say it again. I said it once, and I'll say it again. Particularly talented in defense, Zen Chess. Putting pressure on the d5 pawn, though. That's the highlight of the day. Highlight reel. If I play h5, he can play knight to g5, which is pretty irritating. Guess I can go here. Not sure if I really want to do this, though. Zen Chess also very good with the increments. Playing with increment like a lost art. Oh no. What are you doing? Forming shapes. Is that what we're doing here? Forming shapes with our pawns. Is there no way forward here? Wow. Finally. He finally capitulated. I don't think this was forced. I think he had a way out, probably. I don't think I was making progress. It was probably equal. Objectively, here, he just is probably holding if he makes a careful move. Rook e3, not the best. Yeah, it says white's actually, like, winning. Wow. So much for equal. 92 just wins. Oh my god, my rook is trapped. Seriously? Wow. My rook is literally trapped. I totally missed that because I was looking for knight d4 for so long, and I figured he'd want to keep that around his king side. That's crazy. Peter's not believing this. Queen c8 wasn't a good move, kids. I should have just, like, admitted that it's equal, I guess, at this point. No, it says it's the best move there. So white's just better. Wow. I'm surprised. I thought with the weak pawn on d5, you know, it would be better for black. Good games then, chess. Alright, let's get to as many games as I can get to. Scoble, are you still is Scoble still a subscriber here? Nils, you know. Can you confirm or deny? Scoble's still a subscriber? We'll take him next. Scoble, I'm sorry, did you comment in the stream? I should probably, yeah. Sorry, Scoble. We'll play your game next. I took Waste Monsters, but you'll be next. I wasn't sure, and I'm sorry I didn't notice, but you got that weird yellow color to your name, and I wasn't really sure. All right, Scoble's next, then S. Courtright, Morales, you know, and Candela if I can get to it. Arsenal's not a subscriber. Okay, Bishop g5. This is a good move. Actually, this is a draw. We had a draw with Waste Monsters. I forgot about that. I don't remember. I like this move order for black, but on the other hand, like, I don't think you necessarily need to play d6 on the black side of the King's Indian. You know, like Fischer style. Move order was good. And you can just play c5 in one go after Bishop g5. Like, you don't need to play d6. It might be more accurate not to play it. That would be my opinion. But in this case, like, you got me to play e3, so Candela will probably have to leave soon. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and absolutely. Arsenal plays over the board. And his money goes to this gas money. He takes the bus. What are you talking about? Alright, d5. Knight a6. It's another Benoni. The theme of today. I'm not sure about this exact move order. There was a Hungarian guy, I can't remember his name now, an FM, who used this setup against me last year or the year before in Hungarian Team Championship. He played knight c7, same thing, and then induced a4. Ironically, I was showing someone this the other day. Induced a4, then come back here. But, you know, I don't know if it's worth the time, and ultimately, like, the knight on b4, it's not necessarily in itself gonna, like, generate that much counterplay for black. It's very similar to the other game against Turkey Farm, where I have space in the center. We'll see. I don't like playing e3 and then having to play e4 tempo down either. Guys talking about beer in the stream. It's only 2 o'clock. I can't be drinking beer on the stream here. 2 o'clock on a Monday. Or maybe in the evening streams. Warm Guinness. Okay, tomorrow is Tuesday, so we're going to be holding another viewer arena. It'll be blitz and I think 5+2 casual time control. Tomorrow evening, or late afternoon if you like, 4:30 EDT. 5+2 blitz arena, just for fun, on the stream. Let me make sure we're good to go. Should be good to go. Forget to vote if you live in the United States. Alright. Warm Guinness. E4 will only enable check Benoni. And many other Benonis, right? Every kind of Benoni is possible here. This is like a Schmid Benoni, what he's playing. Typically described as the Schmid Benoni, after the Fischer-Spassky arbiter, Grandmaster Lothar Schmid. So h6, one of many possibilities. You can agree that it weakens black's king side. But if he wants to go for the bishop pair, that's a common idea. I'm not sure about, h6, g5 in relation to, say, knight c7 necessarily being the best. Bishop h4. And then, okay. Yeah, it looks like he wants to play g5 and have the retreat squares for the bishop here. Just typical. But this way I stop at least knight h5 from being an option. If he plays g5, I will rip open his kingside with h4. I've been known to do that. And since I'm not castled, I will avail myself of that opportunity. Not afraid to leave my king in the center, play h4 if they do g5 here. It could get very complicated, and it's not obligatory for white to play like h4, certainly. Anyway, guys, thanks for subscribing to the stream. Thank you to Dim and Fishrat Cal for the donations, as well as Zenchess, Asterbait. Who else did we get today? Scaleaf donated 1. New week, guys. New leader, Dim3337. Clash Kid not here today to see what he did. Zenchess, highlighting our Discord. Now, this was kind of inconsistent, I think, for black to play e4. It might be too late to play g5 there. But this definitely seems inconsistent to play bishop f5, then not play g5 and get kicked back. Feels like he should go with it, play g5, bring the bishop back to h7. Now, you got to start calculating tactics like e5 tricks based on that. I don't see it happening just yet, so I normally do this like prophylactic type of thing with king h1. And then let it rip, basically. You don't get the option to watch ads, Arsenal. So Asterbait donates his ad money to the stream, which is awesome. 1 bit at a time. So it's a Benoni. But black has not managed to exchange pieces, which is, I think, the most important single strategic concept. When you play the Benoni, you have less space. White has the pawn on d5 wedged against that pawn on d6. You typically ease your position by exchanging pieces. Whether it's bishop g4 takes f3 or bishop a6, trading off the bishop on e2. Usually like slightly important. How should I phrase this? Well, it's a big difference, basically. One, exchange of pieces, what that can constitute in terms of black not being cramped. Queen e8. Yeah, I mean, the queen is kind of messed up here. It's interfering with the rook on f8. Obviously, that's a retreat square for the knight. We're going to launch with f4. And it's basically a... maybe he's thinking of b5, I don't know. But we're looking at 4 pawns attack, like a really good 4 pawns attack for white here. There's nasty tactics, like e5 might be on. I'm not certain, though. Because e5 he can actually take on d5. Maybe I missed my... Well, actually knight c4 would have allowed knight takes c4. I think he could try b5 here. That might be the best try. I'm sure there's something for white, but it's looking like you better act fast. Take advantage of this offer. Now knight c4 looks like it could be dangerous, but not enough. We could play knight c4. The problem is knight takes e4, knight takes e4. Queen takes e4, knight takes b6, double attack. Maybe you could sack an exchange or something. I'd rather just keep it together, you know, and try to blow him off the board here with e5. I hope this is not too slow. Sometimes I prepare things a little bit, you know, too much. Why not e4, e5? Well, I mean, e4, e5 at this point is the problem he can take here on d5. With threats of forking me on e3 and stuff. So I didn't see how that works right away. There's a lot of interesting permutations, though, with e5. I mean, e5 is now, it's on the way. Very effective on the next move here. Black will be squashed effectively. So I thought that wasn't clear, but now it's pretty clear. He drops a piece if he takes on d5 to bishop g3 and lose the knight on c7. That's enough for my vote of confidence. This looks, you know, straightforward. Everything's protected. He might get some vague counterplay, but it shouldn't be enough. Basically dropping a piece. Okay. Let's move on to our next challenger, Scoble, then Escort Right and Morales. Play as many as we can. I think I've got 3 games left in the tank. Wow, Fishrat Cow is gifting a tier 1 sub to Slaggie's community. It's their first gift sub in the channel. Fishrat Cow, that's awesome, dude. He just gifted a tier 1 sub to T Darky 123. Nice job. Congratulations, you know, to Fishrat Cow for an awesome, generous gift. E4. Well, thank you would be a better response, I guess. Alright, so Scoble played E4. But, what is it going to be? He got his PayPal in order. Mainline, Mora Gambit. Getting the payment working. Anyway, it works. Alright, so I don't remember the last time we played a Mora Gambit. But it was probably against Scoble. I haven't seen too many lately. It's funny because it's a very popular system. And I was getting a lot of games against amateurs on lichess for a long time, but lately not so much, strangely enough. So this b4, who played this against me? I can't remember. I mean, there was this one player who was a computer I think I faced months and months and months ago. I suspected using that against me in the game. I don't think it was ever played by Scoble against me. Someone else. Maybe once or twice on lichess I faced this. I don't think it was Scoble though. It was like another guy that played me like once, and it was clearly looking like an engine. It's probably not anything to do with the engine this move. I just remember that game in particular looking really suspicious. So this is a new attempt for Scoble. I don't think he's ever played this before. B4, I just remember losing that game to that guy. That was really weird. I wonder if you could just play like B5, actually. Like, is there something wrong with that? Not my typical setup, though, and he'll be able to crack it with A4 later on. I can't remember what I did in the aforementioned game. It might be a pretty dangerous try, though. This is not new. It's studied. If you get a book by, like, Mark Esserman probably goes over this. I don't know. I know there's a guy in New Zealand, I think, Ben Haig, who plays the Mora all the time, in addition to Esserman, who may have used this. I don't remember. But anyway. So B4. Does takes suck? Yeah, I don't even consider takes. But you probably, walk into E5. I mean, that looks really bad, dude. E5, just total loss of control of the center. This is probably what I played last time against it. I can't remember. Now A3 looks slow. Maybe Nils did, not Nils, but Scoble is his friend. Maybe Scoble did play this before. I don't remember, but that's not the game I'm talking about. I don't know if we had this, but A3 looks too slow, though. Kind of against the spirit of the thing. No, knight takes B4, E5. I don't know about bishop takes F7 check. That may be possible, too. That might be good, too. But I was thinking just simply like E5 would probably be good for white, because I can't take on E5. My knight on C6 being on B4 takes away my control of the E5 square. I mean, for me, that's the most noticeable thing about it. I'm going to play B5 here. Where's move 11? He likes to play B5 on the black side of the Mora. I think it kind of makes sense here. Whoa. I did not expect this. I don't know why I didn't, though. Kind of up. It's up Scoble's alley. It just seemed too audacious. Now you're bringing back memories. Oh, man. Hold on a second. Dude, I asked them. The occupational therapist. Alright guys, sorry. That was the follow-up. So we had almost the same game against Scoble before. Now that I think about it, sorry guys, I had to answer the door. But we're all set now. The guy who knows Amy's number. We had a very similar game. But it wasn't quite like this. Somehow the other game with Scoble seemed worse. It got even worse. I like when you ask someone to come later and they just ignore you. Hey, come 15 minutes later. Then they're like, yeah, I'll come 15 minutes later. Then they just come when they wanted to come anyway. Not normal. Yeah, I hate when people show up at my door. So invasive. When they call my telephone, that's the worst. No, but I asked the guy to come like 15 minutes later, and he just comes. Anyway, when he wanted to come, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, 95. 94 was mentioned here. Very good control of C6. But I mean, is it worth giving up a whole piece for a couple of pawns here? Hello, this is Sladgie. That would throw people off. I told the stream how I got a call at 6 in the morning from Hungary this morning. He's calling for some lady. My Hungarian Amy. Basically, I have two. There's American Amy and Hungarian Amy. The Hungarian Amy's not named Amy. She's named Andrea, apparently. I hadn't had too many calls for her, but at 6 a.m. they decided to call me. Amy 1 and Amy 2. I answered to hey. But I was in a good mood anyway. I woke up at like 5:30. I don't know why. I couldn't sleep. So at least it didn't wake me out of like a good sleep. I was trying to sleep. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. My phone rings. Alright guys, enough of that chatter. I'm going to play this game with Scoble, finish this off. Then I'm going to take on Courtright and Morales. And I think that's going to be the maximum for today. So I'm not going to take these other games. I'm just sticking with the subscribers. Courtright is a unofficial subscriber to the stream. Donates every month to support the stream. 95. Trying to trade pieces. Scoble's using up all his time. It's banter, basically. It's banter blitz. Sorry guys, I can't take all the challenges. I got another one. Aspirante's just coming back to. He's not going to take no for an answer. I have to go, guys, in literally like 15 minutes. So basically, let's freeze that there. He could sack his queen. He'd love to sack his queen, wouldn't he? Let's just castle and just, you know, whatever. I could take a pawn, but that would be kind of greedy. Obviously, Scoble doesn't have enough compensation for this sacrifice piece. I'm just closing those challenges so we know who's remaining. Those two guys, that's really the maximum I can do today. Ring my doorbell, Uber driver. Absolutely. Actually, last night there's these weird people who don't live next door to where I live because they own the house, but they haven't been there for like 20 years. And they come down once in a while just to like check out their house is still there, basically. But the funny thing was yesterday they came down and they basically are never here. They came down, they decided to like take this car out of the garage that hasn't been used in like 20 years. But they don't do it like during the day. They decided to try to see if this thing will work like in the evening at like 11 p.m. while everybody's in bed. We're gonna start like revving up the car next door, disturb the whole neighborhood. No explaining what people do. I don't know. It's like one of those great. It's one of those great like 90s cars that's kind of shaped like a box, Bob. It's probably some kind of typical I don't know what to say, standard American car. Alright, Scoble's losing it here. Falling apart. Alright, that should take him out. Last two games for the stream, guys. I lost one of those challenges. I think Morales. I don't know if he's out. Just in case you're in a hurry, it's okay to reduce my time control to 5-3. That's great. Perfect, Morales. We'll take your challenge last. Okay. Yeah, I wanna meet with this guy, and I'm not in a super hurry, but I got 15 minutes. We'll finish these two games quick. So this is an older car. Like, actually, it looks like it's probably about a 90. I just saw by the shape of it. Almost looked like an 80s car, but probably a later model. I'm trying to move twice here against Courtright. PT, it's not a PT Cruiser. No, I didn't mean like that shape of box. More like Caprice Classic or something like that, Bob. You know, the standard. What do you say, sedan shape? I didn't mean like a PT Cruiser. I meant like, you know, the shape of the squareness of it, you know, like a sedan. Caprice Classic, like one of those old police cars. Man, the engine, you should have heard it, man. I don't know, it was definitely 8-cylinder. I mean, the thing was like cranking. It hadn't been run in 20 years. They're firing it up next door. I was thinking, man. Hard top Caprice Classic. An 88 Caprice Classic. Former police car. I guess if you didn't start a car for 20 years, an old American car like that, just poured some gas in the engine, is it gonna just turn over? I mean, if the spark plugs are good, no reason it wouldn't, right? Alright, so Seth Corday playing a lot like our earlier game. In fact, really similar to our game with Nils. I'm going with this trade of pieces here. Same concept I was talking about against Nils in the early game, one of our first games from the stream today, where he has the doubled pawns, just trying to trade pieces to kind of reduce his attacking chances. This is some kind of crazy psycho plan. I know you wouldn't think that for a vehicle, but without its slowest molasses what? A 1990 Mercedes. Oh yeah, I love those. Old Mercedes. Knight takes c3, queen h5? Does that work? Knight takes c3, bishop takes h7? Is that what he's trying to do here? Alright, I guess I should take and find out. Take first and ask questions later. So I'm trading my h-pawn for his c-pawn, basically. This doesn't seem like realistic. He's sacking his material here. I got queen g5 and g6, or g6 just ends the game. Not quite. f5 though looks pretty good. That's a strong move. That might do something. We're winning a piece basically. g6 would have failed to bishop e4, but this move has a little bit of a different ending. It's generally not good to hunt those h-pawns with the bishop in front. It's usually better to have your queen up front. Front-loaded queen, much more dangerous. But Seth Corday just didn't really calculate this far enough. Thanks everybody for joining the stream today. We're going to play one more game against Morales, and that's going to close it out. So tomorrow we're going to be back with the Blitz tournament. It'll be 4:30 p.m. EDT here on lichess and Twitch. g6, no, he had bishop e4. That was the point. Saving the bishop and defending g2. Alright guys, last game. So this is Antonio. The fantastic Antonio. He once owned a 77 Mercedes. Wow, that's a long time ago. Of course, it was probably not 77 when you had it. All right, what are we gonna do? Morales said he's looking for a new defense to e4. He's tired of the French and the modern. But again, guys, don't forget 4:30 tomorrow. Thank you from myself and the Pandas. And thanks to JCS for being here to moderate the stream. He heard I'm uncomfortable against e4. Well, there was that French the other day. Oh, now he's going to play it again. He's not that uncomfortable. So d4. 92. So we're going to a different line. He went with c5 today. Knight and g to f3. Guess bishop e5 check, slightly more common there, but I'm not sure. This seems like a tempo to me. Bishop d6. What's he supposed to play there? Knight c6, right? I guess it's not really a tempo. This is standard. So this is his book. Botvinnik versus Bondarevsky was a great game, like from the 40, I want to say like 1942 Soviet Championship. Does that make sense? This sounds really too early. But bishop b6, Botvinnik once played bishop e3 here. That's not the greatest move though. So this is more like Karpov 80s style. We play c3. It looks solid. I like bishop d6. It's not quite as aggressive as let's say, you know, bishop b6, trying to stay on the long diagonal. The world was at war, the slackers know. It couldn't have been 42 then. It must have been a different year. I have a book of tournament. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 46? There were tournaments, you know, some tournaments during the war, but not too many. What would Anatoly Karpov do? Try to trade pieces again. The theme we said from the Benoni. Well, it's different here. It's structural advantage with isolated pawn on d5. Another situation where trading pieces is probably good for the side with the static advantage. But still, I mean, you can see the top French players who play these type of lines have done all right. You know, the isolated pawn is not in itself enough to lose the game. That's the main point. But you have to avoid playing passively, and you have to avoid getting additional weaknesses in your position. I think this is actually a good choice, Morales, as one of the most solid ways to play against the Tarrasch. The last game, guys, we're going to take off after this. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. And, again, tomorrow night, here we kind of lose a tempo, but I don't know what I can do about it. I mean, rook e1. I guess I could just play, like, bishop e3. Then I'm a little concerned about getting pinned. Rook e8 is a good move. Bishop g5. Well, is that a good move? To induce weaknesses? Connect my rooks? We'll try to induce f6. A slight weakening in his position. I don't know. Probably not a bad idea. I thought queen c7, queen h5, actually. Bob and Acerbate, you guys are going to get married after the stream or something. All right. Queen b6. That's a good move. But maybe I can just pile up on the e file. I don't know. I can go back to e3 as well. What's the bishop g4 line against the Mora? That's the line that I tried to play. I don't know if Zen Chess is talking about that, but that's what I was attempting to play when the guy played b4, when Scopa played b4. Sounds like a good name for a TV show. Dictators with cars. Jerry Seinfeld's next show. Bob. Bishop e3. All right. Since you like Seinfeld so much. Dictator smoking cigars and cars. Alright, but seriously, queen h5, popping back to h3 to guard the c7 square. If he tries queen c7, that's my idea. So queen back to d8. Well, in the meantime, while he's messing around, we're getting our stuff in order here. Feels like Morales is kind of farting around with his queen. Why queen d8? Well, queen c7 he didn't like because of knight b5, but he had bishop takes h2 check. Now he did a5. Now we get the classic Karpov Ullman theme, a4. and getting the grip on the b5 square. Maybe my rook is going to be sorry it's not on a4, a1, excuse me. Although I can just stick my knight on b5. Good move. Good move, sir. So what do I do now? Queen b5. Queen b5 or knight b5, or just ignore it. I think that there's an issue here. Perhaps this looks a little strange, but I didn't want to allow knight e5 and knight c4 effectively. Never get on with their car projects. Well, they're easy targets to. They're too easy targets to be assassinated in cars. That's the problem. That's why dictators don't like cars. You need high security in your car, and then it's no fun, you know. Stretch limo. But queen b5. I don't know. This move feels like kind of artificial. Maybe I should just go with a knight b5. But I don't know what I'm threatening. Like c4 maybe there, actually. If I had knight b5, I had c4 next. That actually looks pretty good. On the other hand, if I played knight b5, he would have had knight f5. Then I have rook takes d5 not working, bishop takes h2 check. Yeah, it's not so clear. Knight b5 allowed knight f5 with counterplay for black. Definitely. So queen b5 makes some sense. Now he played knight e5 anyway, but I don't mind trading queens. We're in the endgame. I mean, now we're really looking at this square, the juicy b5 square. Highly important if you study like Karpov games. You go over these Tarosh games. Ullman. Who else did he play? In the late 70s, early 80s. Karpov. Biggest expert in the Tarosh with white. C4 not really quite working here. How do I finish him off? Man, it's hard to see how to finish him off here. What is he threatening, you could ask? That's not clear. Well, I guess he has knight f5, but that would cost him a pawn. So we'll just double on the pawn. I'm a little worried about knight f6 now. That's yeah, the f3 problem and the e4 problem. I'm lucky I have f3. Can I do this? While there's nothing open here, no discoveries. Knight f5, bishop f2. We're hanging on. Guys, I'm going to close down the stream after this game, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Now that needs to be protected. Well, active defense. This is getting a little irritating, honestly. That is really irritating. King f2, bishop takes h2. This is a problem. What am I supposed to do now? Well, rook e2. I need to really turn into Anatoly Karpov here. Rook e2. That's a hard move to find with like no time on the clock. As we tick down. Pinning myself to keep him at bay. Now bishop f4, rook e1. That's okay. Come on. Come on, Morales. Give it to me. Give me the point. Last game for today, guys. It was a long stream. Alright. I guess he's just making way for bishop b8. Oh no. Man, that looks like he's asking for some sort of crushing check. Bishop b6, though. We just play this? What's the problem? Ask a stupid question. Now we're just winning a pawn. I'm not picky. A pawn is enough for me. That's all I need here. I'm on B7. He's on B7. I'm on B7. You can't give me another one, can you? Hook me up with another pawn. I think he just freaked out. He did. Hook me up with a second pawn. That's it. That's too many pawns, man. He was holding off for quite a while, but we eventually found a way. There's no stopping that. Well, you can temporarily stop it, but ultimately not the best idea there. Do I have knight? Knight a5? A5 looks kind of nasty. That's just mean. That's not even fair to try to make a queen like that. Alright, that's it, guys. So we are out of here. Thanks everybody for watching and subscribing. It was good games today. We'll see you tomorrow night at 4:30 ET here on lichess and Twitch. Thanks for the support from Dim and Fishrat Cow, Zen Chess, and everyone else. I will see you guys for 5+2 Casual Blitz Arena tomorrow night. And again, JCS and Soltigo, thanks for your support. And again, guys, you can check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. We will upload all the streams over there. Thanks, Antonio. And that is why he likes the French no longer. That's all right, man. I think you just need to keep working at it. It's not an easy variation to play, but good job. You know, I think you should stick with it. It's a solid choice for black. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.